Hi, this is Justin Robert Altea for ENRM 233 Rehabilitation of Marginal and Degraded Areas, a subject under Professor Inocencio Buot Jr., Dean of Faculty of Management and Developmental Studies of the University of the Philippines Open University. Today, I want to present my second FMA in this subject, which is about knowing a particular disaster and exploring the damages it caused to our ecosystems. It is also the objective of this assignment to show how the country or community reacted to and proceeded with the rehabilitation plans after the disaster. For that purpose, I have chosen the environmental disaster occurred in the Tubbataha Reef Natural Park last 2012, wherein a foreign Navy vessel ran aground on a portion of this marine protected area. To sequence my presentation, I will begin by presenting some sort of background information about the Tubbataha Reefs Natural Park. Shortly after that will be the presentation of the disaster and explanation of the extent of the damage it brought to ecosystem, then the country or people's reaction, and lastly, the details touching the rehabilitation plan. Tubbataha Reefs Natural Park lies at the heart of the Coral Triangle, the geographic center of world marine biodiversity. Although the Coral Triangle covers just 2% of our planet's oceans, it contains at least 40% of the world's fish and 75% of corals. Studies show that reefs in this region are comparatively resilient to climate change. Tubbataha's position at the center of the Coral Triangle means it has a key role to play in marine biodiversity conservation and ultimately in keeping our oceans alive. Tubbataha is home to a spectacular, breathtaking panorama of marine life consisting of 600 species of fish, 360 species of corals, 11 species of sharks, 13 species of dolphins and whales, and 100 species of birds and sea turtles. Tubbataha is a strictly no-take zone and is the largest marine protected area in the Philippines. It is also a United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization World Heritage Site. It was recognized as one of the Philippines' oldest ecosystems, containing excellent examples of pristine reefs and high diversity of marine life. It is also important habitat for international threatened and endangered marine species. UNESCO cited Tubbataha's outstanding universal value as an important and significant natural habitat for in situ conservation for biological diversity, an example representing significant ongoing ecological and biological processes, and an area of exceptional natural beauty and aesthetic importance. On January 17, 2013, the USS Guardian, a minesweeper ship, ran aground on one of the richest coral reefs in the world and premier diving destination. Investigation reports said that the grounding of the USS Guardian was entirely preventable, and its root causes were human error and a failure of leadership to provide adequate oversight and direction in planning and executing the navigational plan. The incident was the product of poor voyage planning, poor execution, and unfortunate circumstances. According to the official statement of the Tubbataha Management Office, the U.S. ship did not have a permit to enter the park, which is a marine protected area. It was also found that the vessel did not inform the marine park rangers of its presence and situation.
The first rules that was violated was Section 19, which is about unauthorized entry. And another one is Section 30, which is obstruction of law enforcement officers. We felt that our people were obstructed from doing their duties because of the attitude of the Americans when they arrived. The major violations include Section 20, which is damages to the reef.
The American vessel directly caused environmental disaster over an area of some 4,000 square meters, which is the size of 10 basketball courts. Under Philippine law, The US Navy has the duty to pay a fine of $300 or some 12,000 pesos per square meter plus another $300 per square meter for rehabilitation efforts. The Filipino people are also asking, what is a foreign military ship doing within national waters, so close to the protected area? At the time of the incident, immediate actions were undertaken to minimize further damage of the reef. Because of the reef's protected area status, strict criteria was set for the removal of the wreck. There was no to-be pollution by oil or floating debris and no damage to coral growing on the reef's steep drop-off. The ship was stuck in the marine park for 10 weeks until the last piece was removed by salvage team on March 30, 2013. The US apologized for the incident and promised to pay for the damages they incurred. Based on similar incident in the Florida Keys, ship grounding can cause severe damage and may have harmful effects in the adjacent coral reefs. At the area where the ship has settled, the impact could be 90 to 100% coral mortality. The coral reef recovery was slow, recovering only 22% of the original live coral cover within 5 years. The ship grounding also introduced debris and rubble which inflicted further harm by covering or bashing into coral colonies by strong waves and introduction of toxic substances into the water, hindering the recovery process. According to environmentalists, the extent of the environmental damage in Tubbataha is far more exceeding than what was accounted for. One of the contentions involved is the ecosystem services that the Tubbataha provides. Coral reef serves as a habitat for fishes and other marine life. They provide food, shelter, and as nursery ground. Coral reef services are valued to provide an average of $130,000 per hectare per year and up to maximum of $1.2 million. This includes food, raw materials, protection from storm surges, climate regulation, water purification, opportunities for recreation and tourism, and maintenance of genetic diversity. A more specific study on Philippine reefs showed that reefs in good condition are valuable for tourism, and 1,000 square meters affected by the grounding could be valued between $44 to $155 per year. All of these clearly establish a great loss of ecosystem services due to the grounding of the USS Guardian. Two years after the disaster, the US government paid $2 million or 87 million pesos to the Philippines for damage caused to a protected reef. However, many environmentalists said that the damage done to the Tubbataha Reef is definitely worth more than 87 million pesos or $1.9 million. They claim that US needs to pay $17 to $27 million for the environmental damages that they have caused in the Tubbataha Reef. The Philippine Foreign Ministry said that the money, the full amount requested, would be used to restore and protect the reef. Prospectively, the Tubbataha Management Office is looking on the possibility of doing the rehabilitation using assisted coral regeneration in case the reef is unable to recover naturally. Meanwhile, advocates have submitted petitions calling on US to fund the long-term rehabilitation of the Tubbataha. The US, in response, allocated $4.1 million to be used for conducting coral reef researches. Now that the fund is available, we are confident that the Tubbataha Protected Area Management Board and the Tubbataha Management Office would be able to carry out all the necessary actions to rehabilitate and further protect the reef.